Today we're going to look at automatic bypass valves and where they go in your heating system. I'm actually going to fit this one today in this heating system because what they're for mainly is to help flow around the heating system. It helps prevent noise. So I'm going to show you a drawing now where exactly they would go on your system. Well, here we have a couple of drawings with our valve in place and where it would go. This is a combi system over here, and you can see where the valve's going. It's going between the flow and return, and it's to kind of open up so that if those valves were shut, the thermostatic rad valves were closed down, the boiler would still maintain a flow and go back round on that little circuit there. It would keep on moving, and then as the valves opened up again, that valve would automatically shut back down again, allowing a flow through the radiators. This is to keep a flow of water circulating around your system. It helps prevent noise as well, by the way, which is very good. So that's the combi one. Over here we have the open vented system type, and again you can see that it's the same kind of configuration. The flow comes out, the valve goes there, it bypasses, it comes after the pump and it bypasses between the return and the flow off before the three-way valve. That's what that's all about, but I think the automatic one is a good idea. I mean, I always used to put in obviously the old open gate valve that was just partially open and allowed always to have a bypass, but as I say, they're banned kind of by building regulations now. So we're going to move on, and now I'm going to show you the system where it's going to go. Well, this is the system that it's going to go into, and as you can see, here's our pump, and it's coming along here and going into our three-way motorised valve. It then goes off on the hot water side and then the heating side, and Bob's your uncle, it does all the usual stuff. Now this has not got a bypass on, so it needs one because we've got all thermostatic radiator valves on the whole system, so this is something that's fairly critical here. Plus I don't like the fact that it pretty much goes straight into that valve, and when that valve's switching there's probably slight restrictions there as it switches round. So to alleviate that problem, I'm going to put our valve in this leg here, because what we've got is it's got to come in between the pump and the three-way valve, and it's also got to come into the return. Now if you point the camera down that way, you'll see a pipe down the bottom there with a gate valve on it. That is our return, so that is the pipe we're going to link to. That is the return and that is the flow. You'll get more of the picture as I cut and show you how this is going to proceed. So first things first, turn obviously your tank off, your header tank, and drain the system. Make sure it's all emptied first, and don't forget when this job is finished you will have to refill and top up with inhibitor. Right, so we're all drained out now. I'm going to undo this pipe here because I think this is a good place for our tea to go, and pull that out. It should be nice and empty now. Yeah, it is. So I'm ready now to make a cut through there. Okay, right, I've started to strip a bit of pipe work out now, as you can see, and down the bottom here I've cut in a T-piece, which is going to be the bit that goes up into the bypass valve in a second, because you've got to think we've got to get from there up into this T before it goes into the valve. So I didn't bother showing cutting that piece. I'm sure you're capable of doing that and sticking a T on, and we'll move on, I think, to the next stage, shall we? Right, so next section, I've made up this piece here with a T on it. I don't want to bore you with making it all up, but as you can see, that is now going to go in this end from our pump and in this end for our motorised valve. And they should all pull in together and drop in like so. Okay, then we just do our nuts up and we've got our T on then. So I'm leaving loose so I can turn it around to get the angle I want to drop into the valve in a second. So we do that next. I'll do these up and we'll show you that part next. Okay, so we're on the last leg of the journey now, and I've made the valve up onto 2 bits of pipe that I've already measured out, should fit. And as you can see, it's going to go into the pipe down the bottom there. I don't know if you can tilt the camera there again. There's the fitting there, our T-piece off to our return. And that's then going to go into there, on this fitting here. I'm going to move it all in a minute and get it fitted in. Now don't forget one important thing, that arrow, there it is, make sure that is going in the direction of the flow. Okay, so our pump is coming along there, it's pumping up here into the three-way valve, okay, and along and round to our heating and hot water. So it also has got to pump through our valve here and down back to our return. So if needed, the valve will open. See now that she's gone in, all I've got to do now is do her up there and down the bottom there on the T, as you can see there, and our valve will be in. So there's the job there now, all finished, as you can see. we've got our valve in there nicely now, and our bypass should work nicely if needed now. Okay, once we're up and running, and before your boiler goes on, please take a note of the selected setting up procedure details here. You just take a note of the pump speed and use the boiler manufacturer instructions to find the minimum flow requirement. Alright, and then the pump curve determine the available pump head. Alright, it's operating at the required minimum flow and the selected pump speed. So that's it, that's about it, but that's all you've got to do. If you want to go for the technical, set it up properly. It is worthwhile. I should be doing that with mine. Alright, well that's it for me. You know where to go, all of my usual stuff, Derek and 33. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.